This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to our Standing Watch program. You have undoubtedly heard about this new deadly virus, which originated in China and which is now being spread from human to human around the world. Of course, the problem with that virus is that it's, first of all, not detectable for 5 or 6 days after infection. And then the symptoms are, to begin with, similar to an ordinary flu, until finally the deadliness of the virus appears. Now, how did this come about? All the reports we have are telling us that unclean meat was sold to people over there in China, which then ate it. And of course, that is how the virus was transmitted. Unclean meat. Meat which was not created for human consumption. God is extremely angry about the consumption of unclean meat. He has several prophecies in the book of Isaiah saying that a curse is being placed on those people who eat it and who distribute it to others. And that is just one phenomenon, because the Bible makes it very clear that in the end time these things are happening. And the developments now show why God is so angry, because eating this unclean meat may have contributed to the death of people. So therefore, those who eat it and those who distribute it are responsible for killing other people. Now, you might say, oh, they're ignorant about it. Well, you cannot really be ignorant if you read about the statistics and scientific research telling you that unclean meat is not good for human beings. It's out there. I mean, there cannot be any discussion about it. It's probably willful ignorance, or people just don't care. That's just one of several developments in this year, 2020, which we are confronted with, which have great and deep prophetic significance. The next development I'd like to talk about is the growing deterioration between the United States of America and the European Union, something which we have been telling you for years is going to happen. How do we know? Because the Bible tells us so. Here's an article by Business Insider dated January 18 saying this: President Donald Trump's decision to assassinate this Iranian guy has exposed a growing rift between the United States and its historically closest allies in Europe. The attack was met with a remarkable level of criticism by European leaders. Now here, a mass murderer was killed, was assassinated, and the Europeans have great concern about this. The article says that in recent days, German Chancellor Angela Merkel spoke openly about the declining importance of Europe's alliance with the United States. And of course, we all know what that will do, don't we? Europe will become bigger and bigger militarily, economically, and in other matters, and will take matters into their own hands. Here's an article by Politico, dated January 17, where European Union Trade Commissioner Phil Hogan was quoted saying, the EU does not take orders from the United States. And he also said this: we are not an extension of the United States of America in the European Union. We actually are the European Union, and we will make our own decisions in member states about what our policies are going to be, whether that's in trade or security or what other areas. And then we were told that the leader of the German Green Party, Robert Habeck, strongly condemned President Trump for his speech in Davos on January 21, saying that Trump is the enemy. The enemy. Now, we can clearly see how all of this is developing into a prophetically prophesied scenario, where ultimately there's going to be war. Yes, I mean war. Yes, I mean nuclear war between the United States of America and the European Union. Now, another third development is of extreme importance. Virtually everybody who has been reading the Bible agrees that there is going to be a third temple in Jerusalem. Now, the controversy is whether it's going to be before or after Christ's return that a third temple is going to be built in the area where the first and the second temples stood. Now, we happen to believe, based on what the Bible tells us, that that third temple will be built prior to Jesus Christ's return. And can you imagine what is going to happen when that occurs? Now, here's an article by the Jerusalem Post, dated January 20, saying that Jerusalem will soon become the capital of a global caliphate. A Palestinian preacher has told a crowd of Muslim worshippers at the Al-Aqsa mosque in Jerusalem's Old City before calling on them to seek martyrdom. And then the crowd chanted in response, "This Al-Aqsa mosque will be liberated." So it's very clear what the goal is. It's also very clear that neither the United States of America, nor Israel, nor even the European Union will allow that to happen. Something else is prophesied as to what is going to happen to the Al-Aqsa mosque, the Dome of the Rock, and the building of the third temple. These are just 3 prophetic events which are taking place right now in front of your very eyes. But there are so many more prophecies which are going to be fulfilled in 2020 and in subsequent years. We have prepared a free booklet, the book of Zechariah, Prophecies for Today. You might be surprised to learn that the book of Zechariah has a lot of prophecies dealing with our time. This booklet explains what they are. This booklet also explains the meaning of those 9 visions which are being reported in the book, and far too many people have no idea as to what they actually represent. This booklet explains it. You need a free copy of it. And please stay tuned for another important announcement in regard to this booklet. So thank you very much for your listening and your watching us. And this is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
You may be surprised to learn that the ancient book of Zechariah was written for our time. How important is this Old Testament book for our immediate future? What do all the visions and prophecies in this book want to tell us? For example, will there be a third temple in Jerusalem before the return of Christ? Times are getting worse for this planet, and there is only one way through which humanity can be saved. This booklet shows you what that way is. For a free copy, please go to eternalgod.org.
Standing Watch is a presentation by the Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.